that resurfaced clip of Malik Neighbors saying that the quarterback last year with Daniel Jones wasn't the problem. So when you look at this Russell Wilson situation, Tony, he says he's got a lot more football left in him. Okay, he's going to say all the right things. Do you think we've seen the last of Russell Wilson?
Honestly, I hope we have. And I say that because just looking at him and his career, his legacy, like you talked about, if ever there was somebody who played himself out of a Hall of Fame, it's Russell Wilson. And I say that because look at what's happened ever since he left Seattle. When he was in Seattle, he was the man. He was making these good plays. He won a Super Bowl, went to 2 of them. But as soon as he left there, he went to Denver, signed that big old deal. They paid him $39 million to leave. He goes to Pittsburgh, plays there 1 year. He's out of there. Now he goes here and has 3 games. I just don't know if it's going to get any better. And I don't want to see him on a sideline holding a clipboard.
So you're very much under the "what have you done for me lately" thing in taking away the first, decade of his career.
Absolutely, and I just don't think he's done himself any favors since he left Seattle, and I don't know how's it going to get better.
Woo! Hall of Famer, talk your talk, man. Blah blah blah. Yeah, Tony Gonzalez can say that. We all know the Hall of Famer himself, and I love that panel right there. And it's crazy because this is when production meetings kick in, because now you see everybody. Ryan Fitzpatrick like, nah, I played that position, didn't play it as well as Russell Wilson, so let me just defer. We see Whitworth right there is like, I ain't played a position, but I'm a fringe. If not, I'm going to make the Hall of Fame. But we know somebody who definitely knows Russell Wilson and is definitely going to make the Hall of Fame, and his name is Richard Sherman. So what y'all just saw was a media alley-oop. Now let's see what he does with this ball. Uh-oh.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. I think you got to judge his career off when the Legion of Boom was there. He had a legendary defense, an all-time defense, and how much success he had. And then without that legendary defense, the success he had. Without that legendary defense, he's been 4-11, 7-8, 0-3 to start with the Giants. He was a winning football player in Seattle, and people said, hey, winning is football player, all this good stuff, all these accolades, and now you get to go on your own and you get to prove, hey, I'm this great quarterback. I'm this guy that's going to be dominant, and it just hasn't worked out that way.
And stuck the landing. Blah, 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 blah. Golly. Woo! When keeping it real goes right. They kept it real on Russell Wilson right there. And let's talk about this, and we're going to dive a little deeper into it. My first response to hearing that was like, wow, such fire, but not a hot take. Like, that's Tony Gonzalez, no blemishes on the resume. You can't talk about that. And if you know Tony Gonzalez, he pulls no punches. So I was like, damn, he kept it 1,000 wow on him. And then Richard Sherman. Now, Richard Sherman is interesting because we all know that they got some friction, right? They got some Molly Carum, Stephen A. somewhere. Him and Russell Wilson, oil and water somewhere, right? But the point is, he really leaned into the facts of saying, this guy was dressed up. That's what he's saying. Like, even Richard Sherman in his fresh suit, he's like, I'm looking like a gentleman, but I'm going to keep this gangster. He talking about Russell Wilson saying, look, this defense dressed him up. He wasn't dressed for that part. He was a 3rd rounder, and he didn't do his part. We did our part and some. You don't believe me? Look what happened when we weren't there. Look what happened when he wasn't there. And that's an interesting point. So that took me to this, where I wanted to read some of the comments and some of the responses, right? As people were saying, Sherman's vendetta against a quarterback who won a Super Bowl with him almost 2 in a row is super weird, right? You got to get that feeling, or at least you got that thought process, even though that may not be it, all right? They doing Russell Wilson so dirty. This is RG3. I never hear former teammates attack Eli Manning and his record or how he performed outside of the 2 super runs they had. They show him the respect he has earned and appreciate him for helping them win at the highest level. That ain't right. Now, I will point this out. That's to your point, RG3. Like, damn, you don't hear a lot of other Super Bowl winning quarterbacks that were 10-time Pro Bowlers getting clowned like this. But at the same time, why are they doing this? Like, there's a reason for that outlier, and we got to dive deeper into it. And I think Richard Sherman knows the answer, but he's trying to be professional. He said, look at the suit. Don't trip. I can get gangster from Compton like my boy Wiley. Let me stop. All right, so now someone put up his stats, the 10 years, and said, if my team drafted a quarterback in the 3rd round and you told me this would be his numbers, the 10 years with my team, I say we absolutely nailed that draft selection. You ain't lying, Craig. And let's focus in on the Legion of Boom years. Sherman saying that about a former teammate that helped him win a Super Bowl in Seattle is whack. This was Wilson's stat line during those first few years, by the way. That defense didn't carry the offense nearly as much as people think. Look at that, 26-10, 26-9, 27, and 34 and 8. Okay, so we get it, right? The flavor's out there. We know what it is. Now let me take you into my experience. And this is why I don't get the Russell Wilson pushback, even though when it's said by Tony Gonzalez, when it's said by Richard Sherman, you got to respect it. But I wouldn't have elected to do this. One, when I got in the league, everybody kept talking about the number 6. And I was like, what's 6? Ruben Brown especially. If you guys know Ruben Brown, former Buffalo Bill, top offensive lineman in the game, right? I don't know how many Pro Bowls he went to, 6, 8, 10. But the point is the number was 6. And why 6? Because if you made 6 Pro Bowls, you're supposed to be in the Hall of Fame. That's what people were saying. I was like, oh, okay. So, I mean, it was a barometer out there to know that, because that means you balled. Like, to ball and then to ball again, that's difficult. Let alone ball again after everybody see you coming, and you do that more than 6 times, and Russell Wilson did it 10 times as a Pro Bowler, you're in the Hall of Fame. Now, it's like the Combine. Can the Combine actually make you forget the film? I watched this guy play his whole career in college. Then he gets to the Combine, he can't run or he ain't got the muscles I thought he had. Next thing you know, I don't know about him. Russell Wilson made 10 Pro Bowls, okay? Balling out of control in Seattle. Then, all of a sudden, he goes to places where he doesn't have the same security, stability, right? It's a different moment in his life. He's older. He's losing some of his athletic ability. He's learning the system, blah, blah, blah. I can make all the excuses in the world, right? I understand some people have bounced to another place and played even better. I get it. Remember Brett Favre, what he did with the Jets in Minnesota? We get it. But at the same time, it doesn't happen that way for everybody. But does that make you grab the eraser and say, them 10 Pro Bowls, not qualified? That's the part I have an issue with. Even though, and I don't know what you call this as a dynamic phenomenon, everything you said is right, but that ain't it. You know, I just don't agree with it, right? You're right. I shouldn't loan them that money. You're right. They ain't got a good business plan. You're right. But that's my dog. I'm going to give him 50. I'm going to give him 50 and see what he can do with it, right? So it feels like that. I know I'm contradicting myself because they said everything right. At the same time, it feels wrong. Something about it feels wrong. Now let's get into the Richard Sherman part of it. And Richard Sherman just like, look, you know I know where the body's buried, right? Because I've been in there before. The team meetings, the team meetings that we had, that there was coaches on, no coaches, players only. The meetings we had, just our secondary, talking about what we got to do to make up for him, etc. All that. Listening to him try to lead us, rally us, all that. Now, I'm going to throw out some conjecture. I'm going to throw out something that I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. See, Russell Wilson has been deemed corny by the world at large in terms of when you want to see what the players are feeling or rocking with, right? Channing Crowder all the way to Richard Sherman, and many of guys is like, he ain't it. And I think that's so unfortunate and unfair because that narrative has now allowed the gates to stay open for criticism when he should be more protected. Well, basically, if he were more liked, if that narrative wasn't out there, then guess what? We wouldn't go with the eraser backwards. We would just say, put the pencil down, put the pen down. We ain't writing no more. Ain't no more good coming from Russell Wilson, but let him go out with grace. Instead, we go at him in a race. And I think it's because of his lack of likability. Ain't that crazy? Gangster, gangster. That's what they yelling. It's not about a salary. It's all about reality. Golly. That's my Compton brother. I knew it was going to come out. Gangster, gangster. All right, so beat it up in the comments. Let me know. Is Russell Wilson still a Hall of Famer or not? Damn that. If Russell Wilson ain't going to the Hall of Fame with them stats, all right, watch what y'all ask for. You might get it. All you future quarterbacks, be careful. You know how the game goes. So now, you know how we do on this show, boy. We flow, boy. Before we flow, boy, we check in on your blood flow, boy. Please tell me you guys are using the product Vinia right now. Come on, family. Let's keep it real. Y'all know that energy is not sugar and caffeine. It's blood flow. And when your circulation is strong, oxygen and nutrients hit your muscles and your brain and your heart. And that's what Vinia does. It takes the red grape cell powder it's made from, and it boosts your nitric oxide so your arteries open up. Blood flows and you feel it. More energy, more focus, more alert. You're on the go. And I take Vinia every single day for my heart, my brain, steady energy, all in one use. So stop faking it. Come on, y'all. Feel it. Fuel your mind and your grind with Vinia. Use the code Marcellus10 for 10% off. So, yeah. Oh, man, I can't rap this. Hey, where Dre at? Hey, Dre, I need your beat. You know what we do on this show, boy. We blow, boy. Oh, okay, pretty. I'm going to be nice. Don't be nice? Which one? Be nice or don't be nice? Okay, let's go get this thing. This is Russell Wilson. Okay, yo. Russ cooked in Seattle, now the kitchen on fire. Broncos bought that hype, the deal expired. Hall of Fame chatter turned into a ghost. Now he playing himself out that gold jacket post. Denver fans screaming, bruh, what the hell is this? From let Russ cook to a microwave miss. You left Pete Carroll, boy. You thought you fly like a jet, but you crash landed hard. Turbulence, regret. Russ lost that shine, trying to prove he divine. Hall of Fame dream slipping, it's out of line. Sherm still barking, saying Legion was the key. Without the boom and me, Russ ain't history. Richard Sherman, Patty still throwing them jabs. Defense won them chips, not your scramble and grabs. Legion of boom, carry. Russ just rode the wave, now the empire gone. Can't act like we didn't save. That ain't no dap in the locker, no real respect. Sherm said it loud, we kept that team in check. All the beef never cooked, still rare on the plate. That Seattle shade linger, it's still sealed in fate. Ooh, Denver's the punchline, memes on repeat. Mr. Unlimited, Russ, take a seat. Future still lurking, Sierra still dancing, but on that field, bruh, ain't nobody prancing. Hall talk shrinking like his yards per play. Once danger, Russ, now danger? No way. Seattle fans laughing, man, they ain't even bitter, cause Geno Smith was balling and Russ looked litter. Ooh. Canton closed the doors, you ain't VIP, bus room, saving space for the real receipts. Sherm on the mic like told y'all before, he needed LOB just to settle score. Marshawn Lynch, silence, pick at the line, that Super Bowl loss, still stuck in rewind. So bruss, I hear you shine thin, without that boom, little man, you ain't getting in, damn. Man. Richard Sherman wrote that. Petty wop. Become a gym member with Project Transition. As a giver every month, small gifts have a big impact in creating real change. Not only will you transform lives, you'll also win and unlock once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Join me, Marcellus Wiley, in making a real impact through Project Transition, a global giving community dedicated to uplifting underserved youth with mentorship, education, and access to real opportunities. Your donation doesn't just enter you to win unforgettable prizes and exclusive experiences with myself and other gym members. It fuels our mission to empower the next generation of leaders, dreamers, and game changers. From after-school programs, life skills camps, and career development, every dollar helps unlock potential where it's needed most, and where every person makes a world of difference. Give back, win big, be the difference, be greater than your greatest excuse. Support Project Transition today. Become a gym member and help turn obstacles into opportunities.
Let me put you on to something that's part of my daily routine now. Vinia, not a powder, not a pill.
It's the Daily Chews 2X formula, and yeah, they taste good too.
It's plant-based. No stimulants, no crash, no jitters, no banned substances, no junk. It's Informed Sports certified. Just something that actually delivers. Link in description, vinia.com/Marcellus. Discount code Marcellus10 for a 10% discount. Wow.
Well, it's been a decade plus that I knew that this day was going to come.
Oh, this is not hyperbole here. Because I think the birds.
Time to hydrate. Hydration's the situation, so.